Welcome to another episode of the Movie Brothas. I'm Ant. This is Kev. Thank you for tuning in once again, or one more again, as we like to say.
Again.
That's right, yes, sir. We have a great show lined out for you today. We are reviewing Kingsman: The Secret Service. This film is rated R, has a runtime of 2 hours and 9 minutes. This is an action, adventure, comedy all rolled into one.
That's a lot of rolling.
Yeah, but somehow it rolls
layers.
nicely. Yes, and we'll get into that in just a moment. In this film, we have a secret spy service agency who recruits a street-smart kid into his training program while a diabolical villain plans a global threat.
Okay. And right off the top, let's not get it twisted. Our parents are going to read comic book adaptation, okay, in the reviews for this thing, and they're going to bundle up all the babies and go out to see Kingsman. Don't do that, okay? This movie earns its R rating.
It's raw.
Okay?
Yeah, it's raw,
Every
y'all.
frame of it. It earns its R rating, so please don't make that mistake. This movie was directed by Matthew Vaughn, who gave us the excellent X-Men First Class, which really invigorated the whole X-Men franchise.
Yeah.
It stars Colin Firth in a way that you've never seen him before. Taron Egerton, Mark Strong, Michael Caine, and the inimitable Samuel L. Jackson.
Yes.
You want to talk about it a little bit?
Let's do it. So as Kev mentioned, this is a comic book that was adapted to the big screen. I see this film as really an ode to James Bond and all of the great spy films from back in the day.
Right.
And I can't even hide it or mask it from y'all. I loved this film, Kev.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, when you talk about spy films from back in the day, you got James Bond, you have The Saint, you've got The Man from U.N.C.L.E., you got all these things. This film manages to take all of those and combine them all together. Matthew Vaughn breathes new life into the comic series that it's based on, in the same way that he did with X-Men First Class. He is a Bond fan, and it's obvious. Okay, it's obvious in every frame of this film. He takes the typical Bond conventions and kind of turns them on their ear and gives us something fresh and new, and that was awesome.
Yeah.
I loved every single second of it.
Yeah. The film is very violent, and I loved it. Okay.
I told y'all Ann has issues.
As we all do, right? Don't judge. This film is rated R, and I'm so glad it was, because I'm an all-or-nothing type cat. And, you know, in the past couple of years, Kevin, we've talked about this on different films that are kind of in the same vein or space, but they're rated PG-13.
Right.
And the problem I've always had with those movies, I mean, is bodies everywhere, but ain't near a drop of blood.
Well, that's what the studios want to see. They want to see bodies everywhere in the theater. That's why they rated PG-13,
Yeah.
and they give you this watered-down
But they're
dynamic.
crap, man. Yeah, so I was so glad it was rated R, because we could go all the way and let's just, you know,
Right.
do what we do. So
Let it do what it do.
Let it do what it do. So it was off the chain. I'm an 80s kid. You know, I grew up watching the James Bond films with Roger Moore playing Bond, who's probably my favorite. You know, he's what is Roger Moore? He's about 87 or something like that, around that now. I don't know where he lives now, but wherever he's at, hopefully he gets a chance to see this movie, and hopefully he enjoys it too.
Okay. Writer Mark Millar is famous for creating these anti-heroes, okay, in his comic books, okay, of which the Secret Service, Kingsman, is based on. His heroes are often dark, they're twisted, they kind of battle between the light and the dark, and he's done this time and time again in series such as Kick-Ass, Wanted, and The Authority. And you end up sopping every bit of it up with a biscuit. I mean, you love it that much.
Yeah.
Okay. He doesn't shy away from outrageous violence, and he's able to present it in a way, and Matthew Vaughn does as well. They're able to take this outrageous violence and present it with a tongue-in-cheek quality that makes it humorous, and you can't help but to kind of chuckle in spite of yourself.
Yeah, I mean, wildly entertaining. You can tell that the people who put this film together, this project, really love and appreciate the genre.
They love it. You hit the nail on the head. You got to love this genre if you're going to make films on it. Just because it's a comic book and just because people read it and like it doesn't mean you can just throw it up on the screen
doesn't
and have
work.
it happen anyway. It doesn't work that way.
It doesn't work. So yeah, that just plays so nicely. And I mean, for us, the moviegoers, I mean, we get that, we see that. You know, got comedy rolled into all the action and everything. I mean, it's just the perfect cocktail. A gin martini is what you have here.
And it's really interesting that you call it a gin martini, because Eggsy, the main character of this story, once he becomes a Kingsman, once he becomes indoctrinated into the Secret Service, he orders a martini, not a vodka martini like James Bond will order.
Right.
He orders what?
I'll have a martini, gin, not vodka, stirred, not shaken, while staring at an unopened bottle of vermouth.
There you go. There you have it. Great job, man.
Yes.
All right. I am a sucker for this kind of film, Anthony. Throw in a cameo by Mark Hamill, Luke Skywalker himself, and you got me. You got me from the word go. This is Colin Firth in a way that you've never seen him before. You're used to seeing him in British romantic comedies. He's a badass in this film. Yes. Okay, he really is. And you know, Liam Neeson may have somebody give him a run for his money.
Maybe.
Sam Jackson is Sam Jackson. He's awesome. Okay, and you take the character of Valentine.
Hey,
you take the character of Valentine that he plays. And you basically, if you were to take Russell Simmons and Bill Gates and put them together and they had a baby, it would be Valentine, the character that Sam Jackson plays here.
Okay, yeah. Wonderful cast. I really enjoyed everybody. Samuel Jackson, as Kev just mentioned, great villain. You know, you have a person who talks like Russell Simmons, dresses like Russell Simmons, but looks like Samuel Jackson.
And has the intellect of a Bill Gates.
That's right. And one thing I will say, you know, about Samuel Jackson's character, if I had to change anything, I would have dropped the lisp. It's funny at times, but for the most part, it's really not.
And at times it can be a little distracting.
A little bit distracting. So, I mean, you could have left it off. I mean, Samuel Jackson in his own voice is funny enough.
Right.
So, I mean, we really could have done without that. But other than that, I mean, that's very, very minor. You know, everyone did a great job.
Yeah, I would agree. What do you say? You ready to put some points on it?
Yeah, let's put some points on this thing. You know, for me, finally a film that can back up what the trailer is promising, okay?
Right.
It does that and probably then some. Loved it, off the chain. I give this film an 8.5 out of 10.
Okay, and Ant doesn't usually give points,
I
point
know,
fives. Okay?
I was torn between. I rarely give half points. Y'all know that, but I was torn between an 8 and a 9, and it's just one of those rare times for me. 8.5 just sounds right for me. My score on this film.
Okay, that's fair. This movie is fast. It's fun. It's brutal. Brilliantly shot and directed. Perfect cast. The pacing was a little off for me at the beginning, but once it finds its stride, it takes off and it never lets go after that. I give this movie a 9 out of 10. And
wow, awesome. Okay, and it's funny you say the pacing was off for you in the beginning. Pacing was a little bit off for me towards the end, but at the end of the day, that's neither here nor there, because I think you understand what we're telling you. You need to go see this movie, okay? You know, that's our show for you today. Thank you for tuning in. Be sure to like us on Facebook
or follow us at Twitter.
At the Movie Bruthas.
At the Movie Bruthas.
No doubt. And make sure you subscribe to this channel.
Yes.
Y'all, we are the Movie Brothers. I'm Ant. This is Kev. And this is the place, the one and only place where we bring you nothing but the real on the real. Peace.